Coming up this week on the ADG podcast, we have sports. Talk about Lions, MSU as a brand new football coach, Pistons trade away Jacob's favorite player, and we have a brand new movie trailer for you and interview. All that and more this week on the ADG podcast. The only thing that's different is Martin Lawrence's face is fatter. Hold up, Mike. I gotta catch my breath, Max. I do like chicken sandwiches. Well, who else would you have on the cover of Playboy these days, right? See if you can polish this term. I'm trying to be positive here, Jake.
Okay.
Jake is also available for anniversaries and birthday parties.
I thought you were gonna tell me treat him like cats and sprayed him with a water bottle.
No.
Not enough money behind this podcast to get him on here. Because it's not the kids' fault they're shitheads. It's not. It's the parents' fault. The parents are shitheads too. Why are you talking shit? Have you won anything? No, then shut the fuck up. Wait, nobody ever said there was a plot to Rambo. Delete your account, go back to bed, cry for a couple of days, and reflect on what you're actually going to do with your life. All right, Darren, welcome. Episode 2, Season 3. Here we are. We're back, man.
Hold on. One thing. I got to put on my mask because I know you're coughing. I don't want to catch anything from you.
That's rude. Welcome to episode 2. We're keeping that.
I'm just saying that now because I guarantee you'll cough at some point in this episode. But Jake is a little bit under the weather. He's fighting off the cold. Hopefully, it's not the coronavirus.
The only coronavirus I have is in the bottle.
It's in the bottle,
and it's refrigerated.
And you hope you have a Lyme disease with you, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's gross.
Yeah,
all right. I'm not a big fan of limes.
You can't have a corona without a lime.
For our confused audience right now, yes, I just finished kind of having the flu, but I am sort of able to continue. I'm okay. What happened was last week. And okay, I'll get into a story right away. Screw it. Right. Who cares? I know we have a schedule.
Story time with Jake.
Story time. Get comfortable by the fire. So anyway, I deal with a lot of people every day. And last week, see,
can't you tell?
No, I know. And then I'm such a people person.
He's such a happy-go-lucky guy. That's why last week he's like, fuck this guy, fuck that guy, fuck this guy. You're cool, but fuck this guy.
We all have those episodes.
Yes. Go. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
Anyway, back to my story time with Jacob.
Yeah.
So I deal with a lot of people, and then people come to work sick for reasons unknown, and by doing so infect others. And in this case in point, person comes to work sick and infects a lot of people, including myself. And it's not just like, I got a cold, whatever, sniffles, I can deal with it, blow my nose, whatever, take a lozenge, whatever, fuck off. No. In this point, actually gave me the damn flu, and it was pretty bad. As you can probably hear, I'm not my usual self. I'm trying not to cough. What happened was, with this whole flu situation, it got so bad where I couldn't eat, which is for me very scary. I couldn't drive, which is also extremely scary, because those are two of my favorite things. And so I eliminated all of my sick days for the year all in one shot. So that's kind of on the person who gave everybody around me, because it wasn't just me. It was a lot of people around me that got sick because of this person. That's on that person. They got sick, and I lost all my damn sick days all at once. And it was a complete mess. I think I slept for like 24 hours at one point. And I'm still not recovering. It's been 6 days. Trying to get through it and try not to pass it on to too many people. It's just disgusting. But yeah, and I wish it was, not as bad, but it was awful. It was one of the worst flus I've ever had. I was totally useless. I had to cancel a whole bunch of work. Here. It's just, being considered by some people that they have to show up to work. And if you're that sick, stay fucking home. But anyway, I'm here. And I actually wish I had a corona next to me. And we're not making jokes that anything happened in China and Wuhan, because that's super sad. But, when I'm sick and I'm coming back to work, people are like, oh, you have the coronavirus. Okay, well, I'm going to play it off. I'm not going to be super serious about it. It's a little different. But yeah, here I am.
There you go.
So fuck off there. You can take your mask off.
Whoa. Just in case a lot of people who listen to the podcast think that we're actually in the same room. No, we are in two separate locations. So no,
Thank God.
I'm not. Yeah, I know, right? So I'm not have to worry about catching anything from Jake or vice versa. So he's good.
Catch some manners, Darren. Catch some manners.
See, all your asshole attitude is rubbing off on me. Finally, it only took about 3 years.
There you go.
3 years of doing this podcast to finally catch up. Anyways, let's get into sports. Let's get into sports.
Okay.
Sports. Let's talk about. We can't. One day Jake gonna do an episode. There he goes. He's coughing away. We're gonna do an episode.
Not to laugh at you. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, we're gonna do an episode where we're not gonna be talking about the Lions because there'll be nothing going on. But of course, something is going on with the Detroit Lions, even though the Super Bowl's over and now we're in that dead zone between end of Super Bowl and draft. It's like a hold and wait period that we're going through right now. But they're still making news. Obviously, there's a lot of reports that Washington, who has a second overall pick, is interested in trading down with Miami. Miami jumping up to get the number 2 overall pick so they can draft Tua from Alabama, which, yeah, it would suck for a Lions fan to have a chance at drafting a potential franchise quarterback in Tua. But if it doesn't happen and he is selected before we can get a chance, that leaves us wide open with Chase Young, the defensive end from Ohio State. And I would absolutely love Chase Young from Ohio State. Talk about a lethal impact player that can really shake up a defense.
Well, it's true. And unfortunately, again, we've had this conversation before where I've watched Chase Young play in the last couple of games of the season, even in the playoffs. He wasn't great.
No.
Very underwhelming.
Right.
Looking at the big body of work throughout the season, yeah, he was pretty good. Well, that's why he would be drafted that high. But if something stupid like that happens and they steal Tua from under the Lions, yeah, I wouldn't mind having a Chase Young. And anything but be better at that defense. A full garbage can of garbage would be pretty good at that defense.
Yeah.
So everything's a step up. Yeah, no, I wouldn't mind that at all. But there's always an option where that doesn't happen, and the Lions do have Tua at 3, and then they're in the same conundrum we talked about last episode, where you draft him and you utilize him down the road, you trade down, you take the draft picks, you figure it out. So, I don't know. This seems stupid sometimes, so you can't predict it.
We were talking about beforehand, and talk show personality Colin Cowherd on his show was talking about Matthew Stafford and the Lions, how he's been here for 11 years, hasn't won anything when this division was wide open to win at least one division in the last decade and a year.
Right.
And he's saying if the Lions play it safe, and let's say Burrows goes number 1 to Cincinnati, Chase Young goes number 2 to Washington, and they play it safe and draft a cornerback like Jeff Okudah, which all the mock draft has him going to Detroit at 3. That would make Lions fan absolutely furious, because I know that they're just trying to save their ass and just trying to get through another year. Hopefully, this will be another cornerstones for Lions to build on. But it's not sexy. It doesn't put butts in the seats. Ooh, you've got a cornerback to go with Darius Slay, who may or may not resign here.
Right.
Or they might franchise tag him. But it's not sexy. It's not as sexy as a Tua, where people will buy his jersey and will show up to play.
Well,
and open up a new style of football that Lions fans and this organization has never seen before.
Right, and I agree with him, because what he was getting at is what's going to make a bigger difference on the roster, a corner or a quarterback. And I think if you pick between the two, even if you pick between the 3, I think it would be Tua making the biggest impact on the team, as quarterbacks do.
Mhm.
And Chase Young would also make a huge impact because he'd be the center of focus of that defense.
Mhm.
And then, well, yeah, as good as Okuda is, he's a corner. Yeah, they're rare to be really good, but since when has a corner changed the entire landscape of a defense? Even Richard Sherman wasn't able to do that.
Yeah.
So, and he's pretty decent. So, there you go. He's
I I,
kind of got a
I,
point.
I think the last cornerback that would give that impression like he's a game changer would be what Deion Sanders back in
Deion
the day.
Sanders. Yep.
You know,
That's
when he
the
was
only one.
drafted by Atlanta, I believe, back in the day. So yeah, so obviously there's going to be more talks as we get closer to combine time because that's going to be the real big thing. As soon as all these NFL scouts actually watch Tua throw and run and just do it all, I guarantee they're going to be salivating that like we got to get this kid, which would be good for Lions. If listen, if they're willing to give us their first round, second round, and the first round next year for our pick at 3, I'll take that.
This is a defense
I'll
heavy
take
draft.
No,
I take
no,
all the
it's
picks
not.
possible. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. There's so many holes on this team, Jake, that needs to be filled. You know, obviously quarterback, middle linebacker, offensive line. You know, wide receiver. You know,
Yeah, and with the
running
good, yeah,
back.
you just said it. You just said it. One of those those gaps that we're missing that's going to be extremely important, regardless of who you get, is the offensive line.
Exactly.
That's going to be key. You're gutted. You're gutted. You have to have somebody to protect your quarterback, and you don't have half the starters. So, or you might not potentially have half the starters. So you got to figure that out too. But again, lots of money. They have $50 million in cap space.
Yep.
Free agency. They got to figure it out.
Free agency that they can fill some gaps that way too, and with that in the draft, and hopefully they'll figure it out. But Jake, from one disappointing team to another disappointing team, the Michigan State Spartans football team has finally secured, finally has a brand new man at the top of its football team and head coach. Mel Tucker is the brand new head coach of the Michigan State Spartans football team.
Yep.
Formerly, he was last year he was the head coach of the University of Colorado, where he had only 5 wins. Not the best record for being a first-time head coach, but that experience will certainly help him. And he's worked with national championship programs like Georgia and Alabama. He worked under Nick Saban, so he knows what it takes to win.
And OSU. He down in Ohio.
And OSU, yes. So obviously, and from what I hear, he's a great recruiter, which is fantastic. Always
he's young.
To have that, and he's young. He's determined, and you know, and kudos for Michigan State going with a minority hire as well, because especially in the Big Ten, not too many minority head coaches in that conference. So it's always good to see.
Right, as good as this signing is, and I think it's a great signing. It's excellent for MSU. I think probably the guy that should be there. Yeah. I think they overpaid him because nobody else wanted the job because of the mess that's there right now.
Yeah,
but they got lucky.
They
got lucky.
Obviously, their first choice was Luke Fickell out of Cincinnati, but he decided to stay put where he was.
Just a dumpster fire here
in Cincinnati, and so they moved on to Mel Tucker, who about 3 days ago he said thanks but no thanks. But Michigan State came back and says like, we'll give you $2.7 million, and we'll double the salaries for all your assistants. Okay. That you know the old saying, money talks, and that's exactly what happens. So there you go, Mel Tucker. Good luck. Go green, go white. Hopefully, maybe in the years to come, he'll be better than Harbaugh.
Oh, that's you just have to win, and then you'll be better. I could be better than Harbaugh as long as I win. I don't wear khakis and I don't sleep over at recruits' houses, and that should be better than Harbaugh.
Who's got it better than us? Everybody.
Everybody.
That's it.
And I'm a fan. Whatever.
There you go. And enough football talk. Let's move over to the court and basketball, Jake's favorite sport. And let's talk about Jake's favorite team. Just kidding. It,
I'm super happy
talk
about the
about
Pistons
the
right now.
Pistons finally moving on from
I broke out the jerseys again.
that waste of space.
Yep.
Andre Drummond trading him to the Cleveland Cavaliers for, let's face it, a bucket of balls and a second round draft pick.
I'll take it. Beautiful.
Former NBA All Star,
Nope.
one of the top rebounding guys in the league.
Who cares?
And
he sucks. He is not a guy you
so
build around.
obviously Jake is a fan of this trade because he doesn't have to see Andre Drummond highlights anymore.
$25 million off the cap. I'm so happy.
So Jake, so now that everyone's getting the rebuild that everybody wants, you know, they're opening it up, you know, obviously with expiring contracts still on the roster next year. I believe not this offseason, but next offseason they'll have at least two or three max spots that they can offer players. So the big thing is that do they wait? Do they end up sucking for another year? You know, stock some more first round picks and then go after and sign a big name free agent in about 2 years? Or do they try to get something now?
Well, here I'm going to be a little radical, and get rid of some of the. I know, right? Get rid of some of the dead bodies that are around there, Reggie Jackson and everybody else. But I'm going to keep one guy, and he should go to a better team. But I'm going to keep him because I want that positive veteran presence. You need at least one guy with that used to be a name, that's somewhat a name, and Derrick Rose I would keep.
Really?
He's only $7 million, and $7 million a year you can afford for a quality player off the bench who has a positive veteran attitude. Yes, surprisingly, he is in Detroit. He's done really well, and that's a guy who should play half the games. Give him $7 million, build the team, a whole bunch of young guys around him. Let him be that guy, and just stockpile young guys and draft picks and build her up. Next 3 years, done.
Well, there you go. There's Jake's plan to turn around the Pistons.
My jerseys are out. I literally will be wearing Pistons jerseys from now on again.
Really?
Yes. So Chauncey came out of the closet in my jersey closet. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Number one.
I was gonna say, do you wait till there is a player that plays for Detroit that will actually stay in Detroit for a while before you get his jersey?
No, I'll get Sekou this year.
Okay. You're a big fan of the Dumbuya.
Dumbuya, yeah.
Dumbuya, whatever.
I've watched him play quite a bit. He is fantastic.
Yeah,
super young and experienced, but he's something to watch, right? Like it's exciting. Give him a year or two to build into the type of league this is, and he'll be great.
Well, there you go. As we talk about the NBA is approaching their mid-season break with the All-Star game happening in Chicago, and no Derrick Rose this year for the All-Star game, which is kind of a shame since everything he's done for that city. You would think at least he would be participating in the skills competition, but no.
Speaking of skills competition, is John Stockton shooting threes this year again?
Oh, no. It's all about Larry Bird back in the day. Larry Bird is the only guy that still has his warm-up jacket on and still is draining threes like crazy. Just a man on a mission.
We're geeking out.
So just one more NBA note before we go on. And we got to talk about our one and only Canadian team, the Toronto Raptors. Jake, franchise record, 15 wins in a row.
Yes.
That's unbelievable. Well. They're playing right now, actually. They're playing in Brooklyn, going for win number 16. Jake, tell me about why is this team on a roll so good, especially without Kawhi Leonard?
It's called team play.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Did you remember Go to Work Pistons?
Yeah.
Not a single superstar on there, but they worked.
Those grueling 75-63 games. Those are tough to watch.
Yeah, you're not gonna find that defense, but the Raptors are doing something similar where they're playing as a team. everybody gets the shot. That's you can't beat a team if everybody's firing on all cylinders. Doesn't matter even if they're above average players and have a superstar, but you can't beat a whole team that's playing that well. So
no, exactly. The game just started in Brooklyn, so we'll see what happens. Hopefully, they can continue the streak into the All-Star break. That should be great to see. Other than that, yesterday, we're in February right now. Pitchers and catchers report to spring training for baseball. Baseball season is right around the corner. I know Jake is excited about that.
Yeah, can't wait to watch those Blue Jays.
Oh,
So we're not gonna watch the Tigers because they're poop.
I'm definitely gonna watch the Tigers. I mean, I'll give them 20 games
to win all season. Yeah.
Oh no, I mean like for me to fake interest in them. I'll give them 20.
They were giving away opening day tickets at a hockey game this week.
Okay? Oh, were they? Oh,
yeah, it was 2 for 1. You buy a Red Wings ticket, you get a ticket to the opening day.
Oh, well.
That's bad.
But
you got a toque with it, so that was cool.
But there you go. But let's face it, not too many Detroiters care about baseball until was it May, right? It's really because April it's still cold as hell outside, and nobody wants to go sit and watch a baseball game when it's like 25 degrees out.
Well, Darren, do any Detroiters still care about winning in this city? I don't know.
Obviously, none of our four franchises.
Oh fuck, man, that's terrible.
So, Jake, that's it for sports. Let's get on
painful.
to. I know it was actually pretty interesting.
I know our teams just
our teams are just horrendous.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk movie trailers.
Yeah, you sent me this one earlier, and I didn't even know this movie was coming out. Yes. Surprisingly, but it was out of nowhere, and it was pretty interesting. So what the movie we're talking about is the Invisible Man movie that comes out February 28th. Again, I had no idea this was coming out. Yeah. And it's exactly what you'd think it would be. It's about, in summary, if you watch this trailer, an abusive relationship, and the husband becomes invisible at some point.
Well,
presumably he dies.
He dies, and he comes back as a ghost.
We don't know if he's a ghost. He's just invisible. I don't know. Whatever. We don't know that.
Well, okay. All right.
It's hard to tell. He's still being able to sit there and watch the trailer, guys, and you'll see he's able to manipulate fabric and things like that. So he might not be a ghost. He just might be invisible. Who knows? We don't know the plot of the story of the movie yet. It's just a damn trailer.
Why did you tell me the name of the plot of the movie?
He's just Invisible Man.
He's
invisible. He might not be. It's not the Ghost Man.
Yeah, this takes stalking up to level 1,000 when it comes to
you know what? It look very creepy. Very creepy.
Very creepy. I like the concept. I love the actress Elizabeth Moss. I believe she's amazing in The Handmaid's Tale. So this, she does horror and thriller pretty well. So I like this. I like this potentially to be that to spin off to a couple sequels too. I think it has that type of effect.
Well, not as far as having John Cena in it in that sequel number
John
5
Cena's
or
something.
Be in it, then the Miz has to take over and remake number 7,
just Marine 7, Marine 7.5.
Oh God!
The Naked Gun, yes.
Exactly. So hope this one looks good. The trailer, I would give it a good 3.5 actually.
Nice.
Because the elements of creepy are going to be better than the scary parts of it, because the creepiness of it, you're not suspecting where things are going to be. Right. The ability of someone might or might not be somewhere. It's pretty well done. The trailer anyway. Yeah.
If you hated The Grudge, you'll love this movie. The Grudge was rated as one of the worst films of 2020 already. So
terrific.
That's telling you something. So there you go. So obviously this Invisible Man, I love the concept of the idea. I love that they're really thinking outside the box. this time when it comes to horror genre. I'll give this one a solid. Jake, yeah, you're right. About 3.5 based on the trailer alone. Invisible Man trailer. Check it out. I believe we'll post it on our socials. So in case you want to check it out, there it is. Jake, let's. We have our first interview of season 3.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. All right, joining us now on the AG podcast, chef to the famous celebrities out in LA, the man himself, Ryan Rondeno. How are you today, sir?
Good. How you doing?
Good. Much better now, thank you. Going back on our technical issues earlier, this is great. Now we're more comfortable with each other. Perfect. So Darren and I welcome you to the AG podcast. We appreciate you jumping on with us and talking food, and that's what we're going to talk about. And you're out there in LA, but we know you're from Louisiana originally.
That's correct.
So what knowing that, what inspires you to be a chef and the flavors that you use?
I mean, the inspiration is based on creativity and passion. There's always new things you can, venture off into, new flavors you can venture off into as well, to really help hone into your cuisine of what you have now, and even help bring it to a whole different place, different level of what you're doing at the present time.
Okay, so looking at that and going off of the flavors, I know you have your own line of seasonings and rubs. What can you tell me about that?
The Rondeno Spice Collection.
That's right.
Yes, you have to. I can say you can, but you have to purchase them on our website. They're comprised of 6 different flavors. The Nola Creole, which is the flagship flavor. The Ancho Chili Barbecue, the citrus herb, the smoked coffee, the Caribbean jerk, and the Louisiana gumbo. All different, but all can stand together. So where there's chicken, seafood, pork, lamb, even if you're vegetarian, even if you're vegan, they're well suited for everyone to really use in their kitchen.
Now, I'm a big fan of gumbo, but did I hear you mention coffee?
Yeah, I have a smoked coffee rub.
Smoked coffee rub.
I've used that with like beef, pork, lamb. I've used it with sea bass. I've used it with like salmon, even some different vegetables like butternut squash. So it work well. Really bring out the flavors in that particular rub for those particular ingredients.
Awesome. Now, knowing what your style is now, from what you just told us, what inspired you to be a chef and go out into all the way out to LA out of Louisiana?
Well, I mean, it's crazy because I think just feeling around with it, I've never saw myself in LA as a whole, but things work out the way they work out. But I've always been surrounded by family that cooks. I've always messed around in the kitchen at a young age. Just trying different things out because one, you're hungry, so you gotta eat. So that's what led to the inspiration to want to approach culinary arts as a career.
You jumped into this. Obviously, you said earlier that you were like born into a family that was very passionate when it came to food and cooking. You being from Louisiana and New Orleans, everyone has their own style when it comes to gumbo or their signature dish or their signature, secret recipes. Did you have that growing up where it's passed down generation to generation to you, or did you have to kind of create it on your own?
I mean, in that sense, I really had to create it on my own. I think you have some family, they just keep it. Sometimes they keep it to themselves. But you really, as you grow as a chef, you really can taste, those flavor profiles and really develop your own style of what that should be.
Now going off of that, you do have your own style. Now with catering to the celebrities and their needs, does your style break through? Do they appreciate what? And they must appreciate, because your celebrity list is huge. Now, does that come through in what they request?
It does. It does. I mean, I think in the sense of what they request, whether it's healthy, not healthy, or whatever, diet that they're on, it's at the same time you want to show them your history, show them your story, show them your path of, where you came from. So, I try to really incorporate that style of cuisine, not necessarily New Orleans style cuisine, but you get remnants of it, of what I can do.
Now, going off of that again, I know you do meal preps for your clients, which is very important. They like prepared meals and having that ready. Is there a specific trend in meal preps that you see that they most commonly request?
I guess it depends on the chef, but for myself, it's for the clients that I have.
Yeah.
It's eating well, but eating clean, eating flavorful. So my goal is to try to make them feel like they're eating a well balanced meal, but they in their mind mentally they're not on a diet, but they're eating good.
All right. What would you say for people who do their own meal prep for the week or the month? It seems to be the trend where there's a lot of stores and shops and online places that do it all for you. But if people want to do it on their own, like what are some of the basic rules that you follow when you come to meal prepping?
I mean, the basic rules for anyone that does meal prep is to, one, stay seasonal. Two, mix it up. Because I mean, if you're eating the same things over and over, you're gonna get tired of that diet you're on, the meal prep you're on, and sometimes you'll venture off from it and eat whatever. Eat things you're trying to get away from and not supposed to eat. So my goal is to tell people just to always mix up your diet or mix up your meal plan and keep it flavorful.
Mm.
That's great advice. Go ahead.
Yeah, your passion not only for regional American cuisines, but also for French and Italian cooking as well. I'm curious, how did you, were you always a fan of Italian and French food, or was that just something that you just kind of adapted to when working in a kitchen?
No, I mean, I was a fan of it, but even working in kitchens, I've always worked in contemporary French kitchens, but Louisiana cuisine, strong in French cuisine, strong in Italian, strong in Spanish. So even other nations that comprise Cajun Creole cuisine, but the French and Italian were two predominant flavors that really stuck to me.
What is your favorite Italian dish?
Whew, that's a hard one.
Yeah.
Well, that's coming from an Italian that eats a lot of home cooking.
I'm always curious on those who cook Italian food, or what's the, obviously pasta is the easy answer, but if you're, there's plenty of people that can do it,
Right. That is true. But, I mean, for a town like this, and, I guess we're 45-degree weather.
Yeah.
Asabuco is a favorite of mine. Asabuco, not good, soft, mascarpone polenta, super easy, simple, So that would be a favorite right now.
Right.
Right.
No, I totally agree. Like polenta, winter food. Here in this region, we have a place that we do a polenta festival, and I think they set the Guinness Book of World Records for the largest vat of polenta made in one day.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, it's something ridiculous. Yeah. So that's what we do here in Windsor. We love our polenta.
I hope they served it all.
Oh, they did. Trust me. There was a lot of hungry, a lot of mouths to feed that day.
Good.
Now that we got a little on the odd side, I have to ask this question because our audience will want to know. With all of your contacts and all the people that request your meals, what is the most odd meal request you've received?
You know what? We were talking about this the other day. It was Super Bowl a couple of years ago. And, in my mind, I'm thinking it's Super Bowl food. Chicken wings, nachos, dip, whatever, sliders, like that.
Finger foods, yeah.
Finger foods, but it was an all foie gras tasting menu. And I just took a step back. It's like, what? Are you serious? But that's probably like the most oddest menu request I've ever had.
Well, yeah, well, it's Super Bowl,
For a Super Bowl, that's pretty, pretty different.
Exactly.
So, go ahead, yeah.
No, I meant to say, you being in LA, that's where it seems to be like the most popular trends start, or start. What do you see, as coming into the new decade in 2020? What's going to be the new popular food or trend when it comes to cooking or the restaurant business?
I think the trend now is, everybody's going a lot. You see a lot of people going vegetarian and vegan. Mm-hmm. That's what you see all over the place. I guess they see in documentaries of what of all over the place, and some people feel like it's a healthier alternative. So that's what I see in LA right now.
Awesome. So, tell me about your book that's out there right now.
So my ebook, Spice Up, Rub It Down. It gives people an idea of how to use my rubs, how to use it. For some, if they feel intimidated, like I can't use this, it's too much. I don't know what to cook with it. So we made a list of like 30 recipes for them to really try out and use in their home. Mm-hmm. So not only is it for the rubs, but also for, just to get them outside their comfort zone and, cook something they probably never cooked before.
Well, that's a great idea. You give them, they can get the rubs off your website.
Right.
And they can get the book, how to use them. That sounds like a perfect combination. You're basically doing half the work for them, which is great.
Exactly.
It gives them more confidence to cook and prep their own meals.
All they have to do is rub with love, and that's it.
Rub with love. That's great. I hope you use that as a hashtag.
Right.
Oh, we are now. That's what we're gonna do.
Oh yeah, but I'm saying for him, that'd be perfect. That should be on a T-shirt, something. There you go.
Exactly.
There you go.
There you go.
So when people use different rubs for different foods, are the rubs? I guess the flavor palettes, are they more like spicier or just more zangier, I guess, or sweeter or saltier, or is it just a mix of everything?
A mix of everything. The spices, of course, is the Caribbean jerk, of course.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that has some heat to it. Creole has some heat, not as much heat as the jerk, but it has a heat to give the Creole accents of New Orleans cuisine. It's citrus, it's bright, it's floral, it's herbaceous. It goes well with chicken, seafood. I even love using it with lamb also. But as summer comes, it's barbecue.
Yeah,
season. Yeah. Sweet, tangy, smoky, all those flavors combined to really give you, even if you're doing a brisket, some ribs, some chicken, or even like seafood. So it gives you a nice smoky texture as well.
Absolutely.
Same thing with the coffee as well.
Yep.
Yeah, and I was actually going to get to that, the coffee one, which just sounds a lot interesting. I think I'm going to have to order that one.
Yes, you do.
That just seems very interesting to me, and I definitely want to use it. And you gave me a great recommendation where I should use it. Now, if our audience needs to buy this, what is your website? And give us, besides the website, your socials where we can find what you're doing and stalk you on the social media like everybody else should.
Come stalk me. I don't know if stalk is right. Come follow me.
We want to see the food.
My website is RondenoCulinaryDesigns.com, and you can find me on Facebook at Rondeno Spice Collection or Rondeno Culinary Designs. Those are 2 pages. And my Instagram is Nola Chef 212, and Rondeno Culinary. My Twitter is Chef Ryan Rondeno, and you can find me there. We're always posting food, always posting ideas, and in the future we are putting out a recipe app for people to use across the world.
Oh, there we go. Go out there and follow Chef Ryan. Give him some likes, follows, tweets. Whatever you need to do, we're going to post it everywhere on our socials. We appreciate you jumping on our show here on the ADG podcast. Thank you for hanging out with us for a bit.
Oh, thank you for having me.
All right. So let's get into the top 5 for episode 2. And I have the top 5 this week. Now, usually top 5s is something I come up with, or Darren comes up on his own, and then we just bring it, and then we just talk about it.
We make fun of each other. He goes like, "How'd you pick that at number 4?"
Yeah, without even like telling each other what it's going to be until as we're recording. But the other day, Darren's like, "Hey, you should do what's it called? Top 5 upsets."
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm like, okay, let me run with it. I'll give you some of the five that I like, that I thought were pretty important upsets, and then we can talk about it.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so number 5 is what you and I talked about way back a few days ago, is Buster Douglas knocking out Mike Tyson.
Yes.
In 1990.
Yes.
So
I believe that it's a 30th anniversary of when that happened. I believe it up to that point, the biggest upset in boxing history.
Yes,
without a doubt. That was back then when people actually watched boxing.
Boxing was good when they had the names. They had like actual fighters.
You had big names, and Mike Tyson was the baddest man on the planet.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah. And the fight went almost the entire way. There was a 10th round, I think he got knocked out.
Yeah, it was in the later rounds.
Yeah, so that was a good one. All right, number 4. Don't hate me.
Oh, jeez.
Greece wins Euro 2004.
I knew you were gonna say that. Jeez.
Okay, you don't expect Greece to be any good at soccer.
No.
They're always around, but that year.
If they're drinking ouzo, or they're doing
eating the feta.
Yeah, they're feta, or putting lamb on a skewer outside your front yard. Yeah,
Bam.
For sure. But like soccer, they're like more in the let them play, have fun. They're in
the group stage, but they never make it out.
We're not trying to win. We're just here to compete and be competitive.
Right, and the only way they won is they played really hard, and they played strong defense. They played like 5 guys back or something like a 5-4-1 or something.
See, you already lost me. You're talking all this coaching the soccer, Jake. And you just
as an Italian, you shame me.
No. For Italian soccer, we score the first goal, and then we play defense for 85 minutes.
And you guys were pissed off at these guys because they only played defense and they didn't score.
Exactly.
All right, so that's number 4. And now that we lost our entire ADG podcast audience, let's get something more interesting everybody will pay attention to. Number 3, the New York Giants upset the New England Patriots 17-14.
Oh, well, I know
2008.
One of our
Super Bowl.
listeners is a big New York Giants fan, and she would think that should be number 1.
No, I hate both teams.
Her love for Eli Manning is just as bad as her hatred for Tom Brady.
The special brother.
Hey, that special brother has the same amount of Super Bowl titles as the big brother.
Yeah, great. He still looks that way, so I can't help him. Anyway,
Yes.
number 3.
Yeah. No, without a doubt, because
That was good.
can you imagine if they were if Patriots won that game, then we would have to hear about, oh yeah, undefeated Super Bowl team, the best team ever, you
Yep.
know, and that team was stacked from Randy Moss to, you name it. Everyone was coming back to win that Super Bowl, and to see them lose, and I'm sure
Yep.
Tom Brady cried in his Maserati,
Yeah,
the day after.
with all his money in the Super
With
Bowl,
all
like,
his
yeah, terrible,
millions, yeah.
awful. Poor guy, he has nothing.
Yeah, poor guy. Married to that supermodel. I don't know how he lives with himself.
I don't know. He messes through his days. Okay, number 2. In 2002, something very, very sad, and this team sucks now, but back then, the Detroit Tigers were swept in the World Series. That's an upset to me, because that was a good team.
2002 team?
2012, sorry.
Oh, I was going to say. I'm like, oh,
October 24th to 28th, 2012,
yes.
Detroit Tigers swept in the World Series.
That's right.
They
had everyone from the Cabrera, I believe Prince Fielder was on that team.
Loaded team.
The loaded team, and the pitching staff was fantastic.
Yep.
And
dropped a giant deuce in the World Series. Got swept. You can't do that.
It's bound to happen. I'm putting out a guarantee, Jake. In this decade of the 20s, of the 2020s, the Detroit professional sports team is going to win a world championship. I'm going to say it.
I don't know if I'm as positive as you, but if anything, it'll probably be the Red Wings.
They got a 10-year window.
Yeah.
For one of these teams teams to not shit the bed.
Yeah, the Wings.
You think it's the Wings?
Oh yeah, I'm thinking the Wings.
I don't know. I still have hope for my Lions, but I'm not too hopeful on that.
Hey, they're my Lions too, but I'm a realist, and this team's garbage.
Me and you both. I try to put a positive spin on it. But,
I know. We try. We try. Every season we try.
It's just difficult. It's just it's almost as bad as being a Buffalo Sabres fan, because those fans have it really bad. Sorry, Buffalo.
Well, here's number 1.
Yes,
number 1 is something that hurts me, and you will enjoy this way too much.
Oh, yes.
In 2007.
Say it. Say it.
Appalachian State 34, Michigan 32.
Yeah.
So, Appy State Mountaineers beat number 5 Michigan.
Appy State, a Division II football program. Division II.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel as a Michigan fan?
It got worse since then.
And it got really worse from that. It's like that was the beginning of their downfall.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
It's just and there's a couple honorable mentions. You could have said the Miracle on Ice.
Yep.
You could have thrown that out. Obviously, I know you're not a big hockey fan, so that's But I was gonna say, you talk about like upset. I guess you could call that upset when Michigan State beat Michigan and the whole trouble with the snap.
Trouble with the snap. Oh, that was an awful game.
Yes.
When all you
just have to do is kick it away.
Just kick the ball. Don't send
the snap.
Yeah, and protect your punter by not sending gunners down each side. No, fuck it, Harbaugh. Pull off my khakis and say, "Watch this."
Like Michigan State did not have a returner. Everyone was at that line. It's like, we're coming after you full force.
Exactly.
Oh God, it's fantastic. But that was a good top 5, Jake. Well done.
You go.
I know you put countless hours into that top 5.
I couldn't even count the hour I put into that one. It's great.
I couldn't even count the minute that I put into that.
No, it was I put some research into it. Obviously, had to kind of relate it into our area. So, But anyway, how about we have some music for today?
Excellent.
And I sent you this song earlier.
Yes. I
It's
like it.
something different. Yeah, it's a little different. It's vibey. It's poppy.
It's a good jam. It's a good jam.
It's a good yeah. And for what are we babbling about? Is an independent artist from Brooklyn, New York.
Brooklyn in the house.
Brooklyn. She came out with a song, "No One Can Stop You." It's her name is ARADIA, ARADIA, and her single "No One Can Stop You" is a first pumping piece that inspires listeners to break through the indie barrier.
I'm sorry. Did you say a fist bumping piece?
Fist pumping piece, yes.
Oh, I
right.
I thought you said like a purse bumping feast. So I'm like, what's a purse bumping feast?
The same with the Jersey Shore.
Oh yeah, where all the girls put their purses up in the air and just go like.
You know what? We just came up with something.
There you go. Purse bump.
Done. Purse bump. No, it's a fist pumping piece that it says here that inspires listeners to break through any barriers. So it's a positive take on a pop track. Well, she's a Brooklyn-based solo recording artist, and as you'll hear in this track, that's called "No One Can Stop You." It's current. It's a brand new track. You guys will enjoy it. It just came out a couple weeks ago, and we have it here on the A to G podcast. So here is ARADIA, "No One Can Stop You." There you go. So that was ARADIA, "No One Can Stop You" on the A to G podcast. Hope you guys like that song. Let us know. Email us, atgpodcast@gmail.com. Let us know on our socials if you guys like that track or not. And yeah, there you go. There's some tunes. Darren, What do you got for us in today's history? Because I would like to know. We kind of got into it with in the top 5 with the boxing.
Yes. There's a couple of interesting things that happened today, February 12th. All the way back in 1999, U.S. President Bill Clinton was acquitted by the Senate in his impeachment trial. Huh. And now 2020,
Same thing.
Same things.
All right, good times.
So
We move
some
on.
things really never change that much.
Awesome.
Oh, back in 1914, this is today in film and TV. The Squaw Man is the first feature-length film shot in Hollywood, directed by Cecil B. DeMille. Is released in the U.S. Obviously, Cecil B. DeMille, very famous director. I believe one of the Golden Globes big awards of the night is named after him. Obviously, he's very well known. Famous birthdays on this week. Jake, there's a couple of really good ones. I guarantee you know all 3 of these men.
God. Oh, man.
First one is Abraham Lincoln.
Yes.
Who was born today. Next one is Charles Darwin. Was also born on this day. And NBA Hall of Famer, multiple times NBA champion, Bill Russell. He is he is 86 today. So happy birthday, Bill. So so just other things that happens in 1924 today in music. George Gershwin Rhapsody in Blue premieres at the influential concert Experience in Modern Music, held by Paul Whiteman and his orchestra in New York City. So there you go. So all those awesome George Gershwin fans, there you go. Something to hang your hat on today. And that's about it for on this day in history.
Very nice, very nice. All right, so before we cap off this second episode of the AG Podcast Season 3, let's finish it off with my favorite segment, Garbage Person of the Week. And Garbage Person of the Week, again, this week is someone that I actually had a chance to meet in person. And if you guys heard last week's story, if you didn't, well, go listen to it. Now, this week, we just previously told you guys at the beginning of the show that I've been sick. I've had the flu. Mm-hmm. So a few days into having the flu, I actually have to go to the store and be a human being and get things that I need, like, I don't know, food, and do shopping because there are children and people that need to be fed in this house. So I go. I don't go alone because I'm a maniac. I'm sick. So I take my mother with me. Yes, this is a heartfelt story. I do take my mom grocery shopping. Okay, whatever. It happens. I am nice like that. So we go. I'm not in the greatest mood because I am sick. This is like 3rd day into me being immobile. So this was the first time I actually got outside in 3 days. This was a Saturday. So after going to a whole bunch of stores, and our last stop, went to the main grocery store, got some groceries. Not too many. And bring my own bags. So while I'm packing up bags, which is I always do because I'm a nice guy, I pack up all the groceries. You know, you put your cart at the end of the shopping aisle.
Yeah.
Right? The cashier rings stuff in, whatever, gets paid, and I'm packing it up, whatever, taking my time. I'm sick. I don't really give a shit what's going on around me. And the next person's stuff starts trickling, down the same side. Whatever. I don't have much, so I'm just packing away. And whatever. I'm almost done. I'm down to a couple other objects, and the lady that was following me with her stuff already paid for her stuff, and all I had is a couple of things to put in a bag and get the fuck out. Well, she proceeds to push her cart through me and around me, and then park it next to my cart. And while I'm packing the last 2 things into my bag, she looks at me and says, "I would like to get to my groceries." Okay, well, excuse me, but since I'm still packing up my groceries, you can wait. So my response was, You can when I'm done. So she gave me a look like, what the fuck? And she said, I would like to get to my groceries. So I threw my shit in, said some not nice things, turned around and left. So garbage person of the week here is a person with no patience. Yeah, I could have been nicer. But if I'm still packing up my things, why would I get out of the way for you to get your things if my things are still on there? Again, it's the weekend. People are grocery shopping. It's something called courtesy. It's patience is a virtue, I think the saying is. And again, at that point, I could have said, slow the fuck up, wait till I'm done my fucking shit, and I could have went slower, but I didn't. I cursed, got my stuff, and walked away. I was not the garbage person there. She was. And you think this would be some old lady? No. Nope. There wasn't an old lady that was cranky.
No.
It wasn't some young kid. It was some random middle-aged lady who, you know what, should know how to be patient. Because someday somebody's going to wait on her. And I hope it's me. And I can be like, fuck that. My turn. That was my story from Saturday.
We always try to be better than we were the day before. Seems Jake goes in the opposite direction. He tries. It seems like he gets himself into these scenarios. That's why Jake is a lot like Larry David. If you ever watch Curb Your Enthusiasm, it should be like Curb Your Enthusiasm, Jacob Winarski, because it's like all this stuff always seems to happen to him. Like these people, they seem to be attracted to you, Jake, every time you go out in public.
Yeah, I don't know why.
It's just your charm. It's your charming personality.
It must be. It must be my awesome personality, and it's definitely my dashing good looks, especially when I'm sick. I'm just inviting these people. Yeah. I don't know why.
They probably look at this guy. Look at this tall guy. He's got his hat on. He's not bugging anyone. He drives a nice truck. He has a nice Polish symbol on his back window, probably. Does he? Do you still have that?
No, I do not.
Oh, you don't have it anymore?
No, I didn't.
You used to have it on
truck. On everything. Now my truck's windows aren't that big.
You used to have it on your van back in the day.
on everything. Used to have it on everything. On the Hummer.
That was like, how like Prince had a symbol? Jake, that was your symbol. Right there.
I know. I had to let it go and grow a little bit as a person and just find the right opportunity.
Yes. So we are recording this. This is a week of Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is on Friday. I know Jake has a lot of things planned for his lovely significant other. Jake, now that Valentine's Day is on a Friday, it's actually a good day of the week to have it on.
It's excellent day, and that's right.
Yeah. Yep. So like it is this like the overrated holiday of the year? Like, I want to get your opinion on this. What is the most overrated holiday of the year? Is it this day? Is it Valentine's Day, or is it St. Patrick's Day?
See, and we had this exact same conversation last year.
Yeah.
I think, on our first, inaugural episode, I think.
Yeah.
And I hate both. No, for separate reasons.
Why would you hate a day that celebrates love, Jake?
I will explain it to you because you need guidance, obviously.
I need guidance, obviously. Yeah. Yes. I need all the help I can get, folks.
Well, okay. I'm not a doctor. So.
Not that kind of help.
No, not that kind of doctor. St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
Is the way that okay, I don't want to call it celebrate. The way people deal with St. Patrick's Day is to go out and drinking is fucking idiotic. Makes no sense. Has nothing to do with St. Patrick's Day. I don't even want to talk about it because it's fucking stupid. Valentine's Day reminds me more of Christmas. Okay. Because it's all about a commercial.
Okay.
And it's a commercial because somebody wants to really sell you something. It's a day to spend.
Nice.
You know, it's, no one ever says go spend time with your special one. They always say buy them this, buy them that.
Yeah.
Okay. No commercial says go spend time. No. It says buy this fucking heart-shaped pizza. Buy this ring. Do this.
Oh,
Do that.
speaking of a heart-shaped pizza, don't you think it's
Okay.
kind of a scam that you're paying extra for less pizza?
Read my mind.
You know?
Yeah, no, I 100%. The smartest thing you said so far about this
Thank
Valentine
you.
conversation.
Thank you. That's it for me, everybody. That's it. Wrap it up, Jake.
On the A to G podcast. If you want to find us anywhere. Okay, that's fine. But let's do this for next week. Here's a challenge.
Yeah.
For anybody that actually makes it this far in the podcast.
Why
Okay.
wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you?
I don't know. This is
You'd
the
be
best
stupid
part. This is
not
just say
to.
dumb shit.
You'd be
I know.
stupid not to listen to this podcast all the way through.
What is this? The
Look forward to it
Mediaplex
every week.
Tuesday show that nobody
Oh
watches
no,
for
that's a
15
Friday
minutes?
showcase. They do it.
Whatever.
I wonder what something special they're gonna do on Valentine's Day for the whole.
I don't know. We're
three
blocked,
listeners
so
out.
I can't see.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. I wonder if they're gonna wear like pink or red with hearts.
Oh yeah,
on them,
and
you know?
then make terrible jokes about
Oh,
Valentine's.
I
Day.
guarantee you there will be at least 20 Valentine's Day puns that they're going to be throwing out there.
And
Hope-
are they
I
going to
hope
sing
Cupid's
Florida Man
arrows
together?
finds you today. Like,
I
shut
know, right?
up.
Florida
Shut
Man
up.
Valentine's edition.
Florida Man Valentine's Day. Florida
Oh,
Man.
let's sing it.
Florida Man.
Florida Man.
That's the
Does
Florida
whatever.
Man.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh,
All right.
God. Yes.
Well, anyway, here's the challenge for our listeners, for anybody listening right now. Yes, Valentine's Day is Friday, and we want to know what you guys think of the holiday. Let us know holiday of the day. What you guys did. What you guys did. What you guys enjoyed about it. What you guys hate about it. We want to hear your stories. We want to share them on the show.
Yeah.
Next week, we're going to bring it back because we're cool like that. We can do whatever the fuck we want. So, as of right now, email us at adgpodcast@gmail.com. Let us know.
Yes.
Hit up our Facebook page. We're going to put this on our Facebook page and our Twitter at ADG Podcast. We want to know your Valentine's Day stories, what you've done locally, what you think you do all the time. You hate it, do you like it, why you hate it, why you like it. We told you our reasons all the time. Darren is always out there searching for love. He loves he loves his chocolates. So
I do like my
there's
chocolates.
that.
Yes.
You know, I hate it because I'm a realist. So it's just that's how it goes.
And this is the guy that's married, has children, you know. Who
Smartest guy in the room right now.
I probably at some point, you know, before the kids, Jake, I'm sure you did celebrate Valentine's Day with your then girlfriend.
It's called paying your dues.
There you go. we all have to go through it in one way or another, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
it.
So email us,
Yes.
adgpodcast@gmail.com. Everywhere, all the social medias, ADG Podcast. So let us know. Hit up our playlists. All of our music on Spotify that we play on the show is on there. We also share that on our Facebook page. Please like, get involved, and then we'll have some more good content coming to you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the interview. Thank you to Ryan Rondeno for coming on the show, telling us everything about cooking this week. That was excellent. Love it. Some spices right there. Go check that other stuff out. People are already calling for that. There you go.
They have to get it. And also tune in. The phones keep ringing off the hook here. And also tune in next week. We have another interview for you. A great interview.
Let's not spoil it. It's a celebrity interview.
It's a celebrity interview. I guarantee you, we will not disappoint.
We will not. Perfect. So for the ADG Podcast, I am Jacob.
And I'm Darren.
And we are ADG.